Hey everybody, welcome back. And today I just had a short little thing I wanted to share with you guys. So sit back and enjoy the view of my plastic fern here while I tell you this story. So yesterday I was running a bunch of errands, driving around, and I got to thinking about something that happened to me about 25 or maybe even 30 years ago. And I was working at the time, and I would have to travel with my job from time to time. So there was some kind of a trip scheduled, and I got into bed the night before, and I set my alarm like I always did every night. And this was way back when nobody was using cell phones. So I turned off the light and I put my head on the pillow, and then suddenly, for some reason, I felt I had to tell Paul to set the alarm on his pager. I have no idea why. I'd traveled before and never had asked him to do that ever, ever. So Paul must have been in kind of that really relaxed state, right before you fall asleep. And then I'm poking him and saying, I need you to set the alarm on your pager. So, he's kind of like, what? Why? And so I reminded him, I have to catch a flight tomorrow, and what if the electricity were to go off and I'd miss my flight? So anyway, he fumbles around for his pager and sets the alarm for me, and we get settled in and comfy to go to sleep. About 5 minutes later, the electricity goes off. Well, we are wide awake now. It was the strangest thing. There was no weather, no wind, and I can't recall there was any kind of forecast to make me concerned about the weather for my trip, or the need for a second alarm. So after a moment of this stunned silence, Paul turns to me and says, "You are scary." Whatever had just happened, all I can say, it was kind of a supernatural thing. Well, you know what? God is a supernatural God, and His Word is supernatural as well. I have a love for Bible prophecy, and that's really a whole nother story, and maybe I'll share that with you guys, on another day. But I got to thinking about, that whole thing that happened years and years ago. And, it occurred to me, you know what? Bible prophecy is what startled me awake to what's really going on in the world. The whole light going out experience was, indeed very, very strange and scary in a way. But knowing Bible prophecy keeps me from being fearful about what I'm hearing and seeing in the news today. Just the earthquakes alone should have you sitting up and taking notice with the ever-increasing frequency and intensity of these magnitudes that are happening all over the world. Think about all of these nations that are in the news rising up against each other. We've got news about Russia and Ukraine and China and Taiwan and Israel and Syria, Turkey, Iran, Iraq, and others. And there's AI technology taking over jobs. There's this astronomical national debt that is unsustainable. There's censorship. There's all this talk of different viruses and possible pandemics and lockdowns. We hear about UFOs and aliens and motherships. I'm sure you can add to this list, but up is down is up, evil is good, good is evil. What is true? What isn't? The Bible has a lot to say about deception. So anyway, I just wanted to share this story with you guys because I want you to know that you can trust God. He knows the end from the beginning, and He gave us His Word so that we can know what to look for to be happening in these last days. as so many things are converging. Just like the experience I shared with you when the lights went out and it woke me up, I hope that if you haven't put your faith and trust in the Lord, that you seek Him and have Him turn on the light for you. You don't need to be scared or living in fear as all the crazy is happening around you. You'll be living fully awake, fully at peace, the peace that only Jesus Christ can give you, as you will be looking forward to the future He's promised His believers with hope and anticipation of a glorious future He has promised. Love you guys.